Hello, everybody. Hello, everybody. Hello, everybody. I am Dr. Thunder, and this is Two Dads React. And thank you for being in the place to be. Thanks for being in the place to be. And this is my collaboration with Tony from God Rules. And it's been a minute since we did a show. We got a spicy show for you. And yes, we are talking about the Epstein files and what will happen on February 8th. What's going to happen on February 8th? So there's all kinds of things in those files, a lot of talk about cloning and designer babies and all kinds of crazy stuff. We're also going to be talking about apparently billionaires paying folks so that they can hunt humans. Goodness. And we're talking about all kinds of stuff. This crazy stuff going on in the world. Crazy stuff going on. But we have a packed show, and so we're going to go ahead and get this one started. Thanks for being here. Please like the video on the way in, and we'll see you shortly with another riveting episode of Two Dads React. Let's go. Warning: some viewers may find the following video disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
Okay.
What's happening? What's happening, man? How you doing?
Not bad. I'm just trying to get things going here. It's been a while. It's been a few weeks or something.
Yeah, it's been
Just a
crazy.
little while. Yeah, I'm trying to post it everywhere, and it's like I've been just trying to get ready, and it just takes forever. You know how things are, man.
No worries, no worries. This is it's gonna be a good show. We haven't done one of these for a minute, but
Yeah, it's been a little while.
we got a jam packed show all about good old Epstein.
There's a lot of insane things I've been finding. That's for sure.
Yeah, that's crazy. And there's some things that are it's mixed in with some stuff that's not actually, they smuggled in some stuff that's not actually true, right? So you have some stuff thrown in the middle. But something is happening on February 8th. What's going to happen on February 8th? Other than the Super Bowl.
Well, I mean, okay, so I looked into it, and it may or may not be true. Apparently, there's some fake stuff on X. Believe it or not, can you imagine there's fake stuff on X?
That's right.
I like afterwards, I'm like, oh my goodness, this is. But there actually is a lot of real stuff that's insane.
There's a lot of real stuff, but they threw in. But that's like a that's actually a tactic to hide truth, is by publishing stuff that is bogus, that's in a sort of along the same lines. So then it's like, well, what stuff can I believe? What stuff can't I believe? And
yeah, no kidding, man.
It reminds me of a episode of The Office. And
which episode? I used to watch that show. It's actually pretty funny.
Yeah, it was the episode where Stanley, he gets outed for having an affair on his wife, and it's because Michael.
That's the black dude, right?
Yeah. So
Michael.
Yeah. Well, Michael's, he can't keep any secrets, right? So he finds something out, and then he's like telling everybody. He's telling people, and then Stanley, he asked Stanley if he actually did something. So then Stanley actually tells him. He says, "But don't tell anybody." But he had already told everybody, right? So now what he does is he goes around the office and he makes up a bunch of rumors about everybody. And he just starts spreading them like crazy, because he had hoped that by spreading all the rumors that they wouldn't be able to tell which ones were true. So then they would none of this stuff is true.
Oh, yeah, I see what you're saying.
So that was his strategy.
Well, I mean, they've been doing that forever. I mean, they'll put out a story that's partially based on truth. Like I remember with the whole Smithsonian thing, they put out a fake story about finding giant bones, that they took all these giant bones and hid them, and they put out this fake story. The website that puts the original one out even says it's a fake website, right? Like, oh, this is just comedy. And then you find out a little bit later, no, actually, Smithsonian themselves admitted after 100 years that literally they did do some of this. It was just slightly different. So then they can debunk the fake one, and you'll just assume the real one's fake too.
Yeah,
that's how they do it.
That's how they do it. It's
it's pretty crazy.
Yeah, so it kind of makes you wonder. And it's interesting that this rumor about, the big three, we won't say what it is, but it may have a W in it.
You're not talking about GM, Ford, and Chrysler, right?
No. Right.
The big three, right?
Right. The big three, it's interesting that the rumor is that it would theoretically start on the same day as the Super Bowl. So
You're talking about
that's
World War
also
III. Okay, yeah, World
yeah
War III.
yeah. So
Well, of course, I was thinking that's what I mean. There was so much other crazy stuff in here. Is actually like I was starting to think. Well, I mean, it's another crazy thing that's in there. I just assume it's true. But I mean, there's a lot of insanity. I mean, Peter Thiel, he's working with our president, and that guy is crazy. There's a bunch of stuff. I just put up a video on my main channel about that just now, like literally 30 minutes ago. All the insanity Peter Thiel is up to. And I mean, they're literally talking. I mean, he's talking like George Soros. They're like, oh, let's just keep the whole world in chaos so that they won't see what we're doing.
right.
They're like literally talking that way. And they said apparently Obama was part of that as well. Like, it's just like they're all trying to craft this insanity in our world so that they can go ahead and do whatever crazy stuff they want to do in the background. And we won't notice. Insane, some of the stuff they were doing.
Yeah.
And did you find some stuff? I got some stuff over here. Let me see here.
I've got some TikTok videos that it's a
we got a picture of alleged Jeffrey Epstein allegedly alive still.
Right.
What is this one?
All right, okay,
did you see
here
that?
we go. Here, let me put my let me give you the share screen here.
Oh, maybe you got it. Oh no, I got it. Okay, I gotta go find it. I have it pulled up over there. Yeah, here it is. So this guy, I mean, at first it doesn't look like him, but when you start looking closely, it does look like him. Apparently his mustache was still brown while the rest of his beard was white. And of course, if you grow your hair out really long and your beard out longer and put on some sunglasses, it doesn't look like you anymore. You know what I mean? So it could very well be him. They say its image is AI slop, though. Oh, okay, it just happened. It was 5 million views and no one knew that. So apparently this is AI slop they're claiming. Okay, so it's fake.
Right.
So we find out it's fake after 5 million views. Okay, this image is AI slop, some cropped out Gemini logo at the bottom right. Okay, so it's fake. All right, I guess Epstein's dead.
Right. Hey, I was watching. Speaking of a lot of these deep fakes.
God, I'm so sick of this. This is just like you were saying in the beginning.
Yeah.
Stanley.
Something like this. It's interesting. A lot of these deep fakes with the AI stuff. And because people will, even if the fake is not even that good, people will believe something that seems to corroborate their narrative. So if it seems like it agrees with or supports some idea, some bias that they already have. So I was on Facebook, and I don't post anything on Facebook. That's not true. I post only basically music stuff and family stuff on Facebook. I do not post anything political at all because it's just like a waste.
Oh, on Facebook, yeah.
Yeah, 100%. On Facebook. But I was Facebook on there.
Will just totally shadow ban you if you do it, probably.
Yeah, but I was on there, and just because I posted something, some music thing, and I saw somebody that is that I know really doesn't like Trump, right?
Oh yeah.
And this was a couple weeks ago, but they posted it was a fake. It was a picture of Trump kissing like what looked like an underage girl, and he had like his hand on her leg or something. But then when you look closely, he has 3 arms.
3 arms.
Yeah. So sometimes with the AI, it like does this artifacting thing where you'll have too many arms or too many legs or too many fingers or something like this. And
right.
but they had it posted like, see, this guy, he's a POS and all like this. And it's like, you can't even tell that the picture is fake. It's like a fake picture. He's got 3 arms in the picture.
That happened with that. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of them, dude. There's a lot that go viral too for like 5, 10 million views. You remember that guy Peretti that died? Did you see that picture where I had the gun on his head like that? The Peretti one?
Oh, no. Show
Okay, you know
that
the
one
guy,
again.
the ice, the guy. Let me see. I
Oh,
can show it.
yeah. I know. I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
So that was actually a fake picture as well. They actually showed like he had. I can't remember everything was wrong. His hand was wrong. One guy was missing a head. There's 3 guys in the picture, and one was literally missing his head. No one noticed it for an entire day. No one noticed for an entire freaking day that he is missing his head. Let me go find it. This is interesting because this is Biden and he's got his mask on. This is Getty Images. Okay.
Right.
Look at this. Look at his ear.
Yeah.
You can see something weird there. And that's not the only picture. There's like a ton of them. If you go down here, here's another one where you can see his face, his mask slip off. Look at this. He fixes it. Now, I don't know anymore. You don't even know what's AI and what's real because there's so many of these. There's so many. Now you have no idea if it's fake or real because there's the AI so good. But the one, let me show you the Peretti one. His name was Alex Peretti, right? Alex Peretti, right? And they had a picture that went super viral of him. Where is it at? Yeah, actually, this is the picture. Well, you can see his hand's wrong there.
Yeah.
But that's not the picture. The rest of the picture shows, maybe it's down here. Nope. No. Yeah, here it is. So look at this. This guy's entire head's missing. And that went viral. Like the entire day. I saw no one point out the problem with the picture until the next day. It went viral. Like 10, 20 million people saw it at least, thinking it was real. And his head is missing. His head's missing.
Yeah.
And here, his hand is going through the, what does he have in his hand again? His cell phone. His hand is going through his cell phone. Down here, I can't even show it on the screen. Down here, there's like a gun on his leg. And there's some random thing pointing out here. So it's like a completely fake photo. And everybody got super angry over the photo, like, oh my God, look what happened. And of course, it is kind of true. It's actually sort of related to the actual video. It's not fake exactly. It's kind of showing what happened, sort of, but not exactly. You know what I mean? It's like a fake photo, though. So, but it looks more like visceral the way this one looks, right?
Right.
But I mean, the fact that he had no head. How does that go viral for an entire day? No one notices he's missing a head. How do you do that? How's that good? Like, what the hell? So that's the weird thing about some of this stuff. Now, there's a lot of weird stuff in these files, right? This is not related. Peter Thiel was making lots of deals with Jeffrey Epstein. They were like talking about like causing a lot of chaos in the world. It sounded like George Soros type of stuff. Like, basically they were going to cause chaos in the world and then make money off it. That's exactly what George Soros does. Cause chaos with like wars or riots or whatever. And then you invest in the company that's going to lose money as a result, or the company's going to gain money as well.
Right.
So Peter Thiel is apparently doing the same thing. Jeffrey Epstein was also doing that stuff. And yeah, here we are, right here. I can show the email actually, sort of. Okay, the intentionality argument would center on making sure the U.S. gets less involved with the rest of the world. The more of a mess with just lots of bad guys on different sides, the less we will do. I keep hearing your intentionality argument. Imagine if the mess is what Obama really wanted. Iraq, Iran, Libya, Syria, Palestine, Lebanon, Egypt. We would have to admit a strategy brilliantly executed. And they're talking some other parts about making money off this. You remember he had that whole series on the Antichrist.
Yeah.
Right. Maybe I'll let you play this because you actually have audio, but this is actually a really funny clip anyways. How do I send it to you? Oh yeah, here we go. I sent it to you this way, right? Yeah, there's a link.
Okay. We'll keep talking and I'll get it.
Well, yeah. So here's another one. Wow, this sucks anyway. Care to comment on this email between your mentor, Peter Thiel, and Jeffrey Epstein, where they talk about how engineering the collapse of America would be beneficial to them?
Is my very
okay.
So this is an email where they're talking about how it would be beneficial for the collapse of America.
Right.
How they can make money off it, dude. But yeah, go ahead. You can play the clip.
Let's see.
It's pretty funny. It's actually pretty funny,
I
anyways.
think it's this. Okay, hold up. 1 second here.
So the email says it's from Jeffrey to Peter Thiel. Return to tribalism, counter to globalization, amazing new alliances. You and I both agreed zero interest rates were too high. And as I said in your office, finding things on their way to collapse was much easier than finding the next bargain. So to make more money, cause collapse to make more money rather than finding a bargain and trying to work at making money the harder way, I guess. So that's how George Soros got so rich too. But yeah, go ahead and play that.
Okay, let's check it out. Here we go.
This is my very specific question for you, right? Is that you're an investor in AI. You're deeply invested in Palantir, in military technology, in technologies of surveillance, in technologies of warfare, and so on, right? And it just seems to me that when you tell me a story about the Antichrist coming to power and using the fear of technological change to sort of impose order on the world, I feel like that Antichrist would maybe be using the tools that you were building, right? Like, wouldn't the Antichrist be like, great, we're not going to have any more technological progress, but I really like what Palantir has done so far, right? Yeah, I mean, isn't that a concern? Wouldn't that be the irony of history would be that the man publicly worrying about the Antichrist accidentally hastens his or her arrival?
There are all these different scenarios. I obviously don't think that that's what I'm doing. I
mean, to be clear, I don't think that's what you're doing either. I'm just interested in how you get to a world willing to submit to permanent authoritarian rule.
Well, but again, there are these different gradations of this we can describe. But is this so preposterous, what I've just told you, as a broad account of the stagnation that the entire world has submitted for 50 years to peace and safetyism? This is 1 Thessalonians 5:3. The slogan of the Antichrist is peace and safety, and we've submitted.
So he actually says he's a Christian, by the way, right?
This is
yeah.
So yeah, I sent you another link. It's really hilarious. Check out this other link. It's on Joe Rogan where Joe Rogan asked Peter Thiel.
Show that on.
All right, here I got it.
This is actually really fun. This is actually really funny, dude. I think this is a good one.
All right.
On stream. That's crazy.
I met Epstein a few times as well, and
this is all great. Let me get to that. I'll copy paste it, and then I'm going to get to that one after this.
I think.
How'd you get introduced?
It was Reid Hoffman in Silicon Valley introduced us in 2014, but it was basically. And I didn't check, didn't ask enough questions about it. But I think there were sort of a lot of things where it was fraudulent. I do think Epstein knew a lot about taxes, and there were probably these complicated ways you could structure a nonprofit organization, especially as a way in a marital context that I think Epstein might have known a decent amount about.
How, when you were introduced to him?
I don't think Epstein would have been able to, comment on superstring theory or something like that.
Yeah,
but I think
so. He's like saying that he thinks Epstein was good at taxes, and that's why he got to know him. And then I sent you another link, and this one is really hilarious. It's where
this sort of thing.
He's asked about how he met him and stuff. Check this out. This is pretty funny too.
Maybe too focused on business networking, but but I thought he always had good judgment in people.
When the shit went down and Epstein
this is the right one, right?
Yeah.
gets arrested for the second time, we're like, oh, well, there you go.
I've thought about it.
I've thought about it. Yeah, I bet. And
so he like pauses. He has nothing. He can't say anything. He's like. So first, so he actually met with him after he got arrested in 2008, right? And did some deals with him. It was in 2014. And then he's like, well, when you saw that he got arrested the second time, you're like, oh, right. And then he's like, he paused and he couldn't even answer the question.
Yeah.
He's like he's not even prepared. It's like so pathetic that he's not even prepared for any of this. Like he just goes in and thinks he can just wing it and stuff. It's so bizarre. And at any rate, so that's the whole thing with Peter Thiel, but there's a lot of other stuff we can get into instead. I showed you the thing with the Biden mask. I thought that was kind of weird, but what was really interesting also was this conversation with the former prime minister of Israel. This was kind of funny as well. I don't know if you want to play that, or maybe we can just get onto some other stuff. What do you think?
Well,
you can go to the cloning humans if you want, or something else.
Well, here, I've got a bunch of TikToks.
Okay,
here.
you play some of your stuff, man. Let's do that.
Yeah, and I think there's likely some overlap. So.
Oh yeah, sure, no problem.
All right, here we go. Let's check this out.
I just found some more insane emails in the Epstein files, and once again, I'm asking, why is this redacted? Donald Trump, his FBI, his Department of Justice are protecting bad men who did bad things with Epstein. This is an email that was sent from somebody, we don't know who, to Epstein back in 2013. It says, new Brazilian just arrived, sexy and cute, 9 years old. What? Why is their name redacted? Why don't we know who's saying this? Why haven't they charged this person? You know, Trump and his team have said there's no evidence that Epstein did anything wrong with anybody else. We're looking at the evidence. It's right in front of our faces. I also talked about this email yesterday, 2014, from somebody, again, the name is redacted, to Epstein. Thank you for a fun night. Your littlest girl was a little naughty. They're saying the crimes. They're saying it out loud that they're doing it. And Trump's DOJ doesn't have any other evidence of other people doing bad things? Why are these names redacted? In my view, the only explanation is that Donald Trump and the people around him are protecting the rich, powerful men who committed crimes alongside Epstein. Once again, they are saying it in text, and they're not doing anything about it.
Check this out. Yeah, go ahead. You go ahead first.
Yeah. Now, what do you think of this? Because I think this is something that Trump has taken a lot of heat. There's folks that, they thought he was going to be transparent with the Epstein files. He's going to totally release this stuff. Drain the swamp, right? All this kind of talk. And then it just looks like he's just basically protecting like oligarchy status kind of folks.
Well, he appointed Kash Patel, Pam Bondi, and a number of people, right, to do all this stuff. And Kash Patel is a complete joke. Pam Bondi is a complete joke. From what we can tell, they're doing everything to protect these people. Now, so the question is, what's going on here? Is it Trump's fault? I'm not sure how much he's playing in part in this, or if it's just he picked bad people. My whole concern is, though, okay, like, for example, Steve Bannon. You've heard of Steve Bannon, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's a conservative guy, worked for Breitbart.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. There is a file that shows they've redacted Jeffrey Epstein's name, but showed Steve Bannon. And then they had the exact same file again, and they redact Bannon's name and leave Jeffrey's name. And you actually can read both and figure out what's really being said overall, the total thing, right?
Right.
And so apparently Steve Bannon was trying to fix Jeffrey Epstein's image. We're talking 2019, was trying to fix his image. So what I'm seeing here is it's not just the left or the right, it's both. It's like really bad. It's like everybody. You got Chuck Schumer. He was in there. He was being used to set up meetings for Jeffrey Epstein. That's weird. Like, why is everybody's literally hooking up with this guy? Like, everybody. So what I'm thinking is the entire government is pretty much caught up in this thing, dude. It's not just Trump. It's not just...
Well, no. I don't...
Everybody, dude. It's everybody. I mean,
well, I don't necessarily. I don't think it would just be him, but he certainly could. He certainly could have everything just released. He could do that if he wanted to.
Here's the thing. So when the Democrats were in, they released nothing. When Trump was in, he actually did it in both terms. But so what I'm thinking is going on is Trump didn't really do all the really nasty stuff, but there are Republicans that did. George Bush Sr., if you read the stuff in the Epstein files, is pretty crazy. Like,
well, see, I don't think I don't necessarily think that Trump was involved with some stuff or whatever. What
I
I
think he has
think is
friends or family.
what I think it is that he's protecting people that
some people
that were, but
Right.
again, to my earlier point, I think he's taken some heat because a lot of people believe that he was going to come in here, everything transparent, he was going to be, draining the swamp. He was not going to be getting, involved in more wars or more conflicts. He was not going to be doing any of that. And then another thing, and this of course happened even before the election, and of course people were dissatisfied. They were pretty upset with both Trump and with Kamala, which we knew were going to be Zionists. We knew that. You knew that was the only option that you had. If you were going to vote for a Republican or for a Democrat, basically their policies with respect to a particular country in the Middle East, we knew what the policies were going to be. They were going to be very similar, very pro that location.
Well, what I'm thinking is it's kind of like that analogy of trying to get a loan at the bank. You need money to get money. You know what I mean? So what I'm thinking is for you to even become president, you got to be at least dirty a little bit. You can't even be like, imagine the entire system so corrupt that it's almost impossible for a normal good person to get into the office. So you have to be at least partially dirty just to even get remotely close. And this is kind of my theory. It's kind of like to get a loan from the bank, you actually have to have money already. And we're like trying to get somebody who's broke in the position is basically what my analogy is. Like, it's impossible. So so he's rubbed elbows with all these people to do his business over all these years, making real estate, whatever. And he had to do whatever to get in those positions. Now, he might have kept his nose clean for the most part. For that area, he might be super clean, but to us, you and me, it's like not really clean, right? Because these people, it sounds like these people are pretty messed up people at the top, right? So I'm thinking that's why he wants to get this exposed, but it's like almost impossible because it's kind of like he rubbed elbows with some of these people, right?
Yeah. So Dwayne, what it is that I said is, I don't have any evidence of, I don't have anything that's a smoking gun.
Right.
Now, you also don't have a smoking gun. So your comment is just as disingenuous as mine was. But mine wasn't disingenuous. But if you're claiming that my comment was disingenuous, yours is also because you don't have any evidence that something something transpired. But at least what I was saying in the focus of my comment was not on if he had done something or not. The focus was that he's protecting folks that definitely did do something. And that's the part to focus on.
Well, my concern also is Jeffrey Epstein was like the go-to man for all parties in entertainment. And whether it's a good party in entertainment or some nefarious thing or something super nefarious, right? Because so maybe it started out kind of innocent, like he's just the guy to get girls and party and whatever. And then because these people are so rich and elite, they're like, well, I want this. Oh, how about we do some hunting of people? Let's try that one. See what I mean? Because there's actually emails like that, by the way. There's emails. And at first I thought it was conjecture, but it's not actually. Here we go. This is from, Jay Dyer, right?
Jay Dyer.
He's Orthodox. He's a philosopher guy on YouTube.
Okay.
I'll show his face. If you show my screen, I'll show it.
Okay.
Yeah, here's his face. If you've never seen him before, that guy. He's a well famous. He's the guy who brings in a lot of people to the Orthodox Church. He's well known for doing it. But he's on YouTube. The movie Hostel. You remember that one?
Yep.
Okay. Well, here we got an email on this. Maybe I don't know if you can show it bigger on the screen if I send you the link. But thanks for the thrilling hunt. Ariane de Roth, of course, child. He's literally talking to them. And then it says down here, got it. Amazing old male, amazing hunt. My bankers should be careful. So he's like saying an old banker guy probably did the wrong move, and then he ended up becoming the animal in this little thing. You see what I mean? So those movies we saw might actually be based on real stuff. Is basically what I'm saying.
All right,
So,
let's play this one. Here we go.
The Epstein files just keep getting stranger. In these emails, he discusses giving people supernatural abilities through psychological stress, cloning people, and even designer babies, whatever that's supposed to mean. Let's start at the bottom here. This person named Gino Yu emails Epstein. He says, I'm in Paris and was about to write you and it popped up. She's a classic stage 3 in the model. Outlier who is intelligent, was traumatized when she was young, SA, and now gradually coming into her own and becoming self-realized. Starting to develop special abilities. This trip, we found a lot more stories like this, though she is more on the extreme side given her biographical history. Epstein responds asking what prompted his email. Then this guy goes on to say the caravan trip has been really wonderful in meeting people that are stage 3. These are people who are developing a different perspective of reality and discovering the gifts they have. He goes on to say, I understand that you were not happy with the results of the Cuba conference that you funded, but I feel like the work is very important toward helping people identify and recognize the gifts that they have, which may not be accepted or well understood by society today. He concludes saying new models are also possible, such as the alternative paradigms group are finding their way, new forms of knowing without knowing how one knows. And in this one, somebody named Brian Bishop emailed Epstein saying attached is the document you requested. It's the use of fund spreadsheet for the designer baby and human cloning company. This gets us out of the self-funded garage biology phase and the first live birth of a human designer baby and possibility of a human clone within 5 years. I pulled these emails directly from the DOJ's website. They are 100% legitimate. This kind of reminds me of government projects like MK Ultra, for example, but they're not the exact same. However, the framework is kind of similar. Trauma, altered states of consciousness, reframing somebody's identity, and pushing the limits of what we think is possible.
All right.
I actually went through that email myself. So there's a lot of people in the theory conspiracy community that were saying that they were cloning even 20 years ago. But according to Epstein's emails, they had not gotten that technology until about 2018. So
right.
So I mean, it's not like it's not true. It's just you're a little off, you know.
Okay, so let's check this out.
Pay attention and listen, because here's proof that we are headed to World War III. Look.
There's a follow-up question here. Do you think we are being herded into World War III?
Feels that way.
It sure does.
Doesn't it? I see a chain of events happening right now. It worries me. It worries me a lot because, not because the chain is forming, and I don't think I'm the only one to see it. I think a lot of people are feeling uncomfortable. The thing that worries me is that the people that should be able to break that chain are not.
Would you say they're escalating it?
I would, actually.
How so?
If you look at world events right now, I mean, was there a reason for Russia to invade Ukraine right now? Are we talking about bombing Iran right now? Are we toppling the government in Venezuela right now? Talking about Greenland right now? I mean, if you look back, there are so many things happening right now. Mm-hmm. It's hard not to put those together and say, it's building, it's escalating. Mm-hmm.
Wait, what do you think of what he's saying?
I mean, it kind of reminds me of what I was talking about in a previous video about this looking glass, where they have this technology to see the future, but it's all converging into one timeline, which shows that the elites are going to fall. So since the elites know they're going to fall, they don't have a problem causing chaos because they're going to lose anyway. So the more chaos, the better. And that's kind of leading into what Peter Thiel and Jeffrey were talking about. More chaos means you can make more money. So, right. And they also, I mean, even Robert Kiyosaki in a positive way, not the negative, weird way like them, has talked about, like, when there's the Great Depression, that's when you can become very rich or very poor if you know what you're doing. And that's what the elite do, but they do it where they actually intentionally cause it and make the money off it, which is obviously very evil. But what's interesting is, like, I've seen a lot of weird takes on this whole thing. I don't know if you saw Andrew Tate's original take on this. Did you see that? Where he was like,
how long ago was this?
Like 2 days ago.
Oh,
maybe.
yeah, well, I haven't seen that. What he was on? What was it? What was it?
No,
Fresh and
Piers
Fit
Morgan
or
is the
something?
late. Well, he totally did a 180. So at first he was saying he was praising Epstein because he had near unlimited financial access and luxury. He was connected to the world's most powerful people, giving him a deep understanding and control of the world's realities. He lived to a moderately old age, is now immortalized in the internet culture forever. 99.9% of you will never achieve even one of those things. You'll never be rich, important, or immortalized. He beat you at every single metric. You lost to a scumbag. Like, it's such a really bad take. And of course, I wrote something under it, went pretty viral. I said that he will essentially be erased from reality in the afterlife, and that your lowly janitor next door at your school is going to be much more well-known living in a mansion in heaven. But the thing is, though, is he completely did a 180. And now he's on Piers Morgan saying we need more files released, and there's obviously other islands. And so he's completely changed this. So and the reason why I'm thinking this makes perfect sense with who he is, Andrew Tate, he's an ENTP, and they just emulate whatever they think society wants to hear. And since Nick, Fuentes was going around being a retard saying, oh yeah, Epstein, and he's like even selling merch. Did you see that part? So right before the files dropped, Nick came out saying that he was a cool guy because it wasn't really bad stuff that happened there, right? And then the files dropped, and you found out it was way worse than we ever knew, right? This is way worse. But Nick is sticking with it, which is really stupid, really stupid. And then Andrew Tate was hanging out with him recently, and they played that song at the club. You heard about that, right? The Kanye West song?
No.
Which is, oh, you didn't even hear about that? So Nick, Andrew, Clavicular, you've heard of Clavicular, right?
Yep.
Okay, so all those dudes were all hanging out at a club, and they played the naughty Kanye West song about the World War II, guy, right? Hitler, whatever you want to call him.
Right.
And as soon as that happened, they got banned from all the clubs in Florida, all of them. Apparently, most of the clubs are owned by Jews. I didn't even know that. So now Andrew Tate is supposed to soon, and Clavicular's supposed to go see the wall soon here. Andrew Tate's already, Tristan Tate already has a Jewish girlfriend. So this shows you how fake they are. They're just like completely fake people. He's got a Jewish girlfriend after this all happened. Andrew's already went on an apology tour a little bit. Clavicular's going to go to the wall now. All because they couldn't get into clubs anymore. But the Matrix got him. The Matrix got him. The real Matrix got him, right? I got on a weird tangent. Of course, Andrew Tate's now coming out saying we need to release all the files, and we need to get into all that now. So I can't believe you didn't know about the whole club thing, man. That's like totally in your alley, I think, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't pay. There's certain guys I don't really pay attention to, and I don't really pay attention to Andrew Tate. I don't really pay attention to the folks in this sort of fresh and fit universe. I don't.
Oh,
really
you don't
pay
even listen to
them.
them. You don't follow Myron at all? None.
I don't really. I don't really listen to them. I mean, every once in a while, I'll review a video or something. Right. But I haven't actually seen this latest round of sort of interviews that Tate has done.
But I mean, like, they went to the club and they all got banned from the clubs. They got all banned because it was such a horrible thing. They played a Kanye song and then Kanye also went on and apologized after they played the song again.
Hey folks, you can help out. We just had 100 people in here. Got close to 100 people in here. If you can hit that like button, that'll really help. That'll really, really help. Please hit the like button. Okay. So here, I've got.
All right, you play something. You got something?
Another video here. Check this out.
Did the Epstein files contain an email discussing the beginning of World War III, scheduled to start on February 8, 2026, as a viral image implied? No, that's not true. No email with the phrases WW 3 inches and investment opposite nuclear could be located on the website of the Department of Justice as of this writing. Lead Stories found a file that had the same identifying numbers, but it contained nothing about World War III. It appears that file was edited to create the viral image. So what did we learn from this fact check?
Yeah, so I mean, I went and looked it up myself. It is correct, but there is some stuff about World War III in there. It's just not that email. It's not that one.
Yeah.
And the way Peter Thiel was talking with Epstein, it sounded like they wanted to start World War III. The way they were talking, because they said they were going to make a ton of money off it, which is really kind of bizarre.
Okay, let's check this out.
So I've been knee deep in the files. I gave myself a little break, but I just find myself going back and reading more and more. This one just stopped me in my tracks, and I just wanted to share and see if anyone found a reply to this. I haven't found the reply yet. This is from Jeffrey to an unknown person. I really wish we could know. This is April 2014, and Jeffrey sends this to someone, and the first one is Ezekiel 9:6, slay utterly old and young, both maids and little children and women. And the rest of the verses are obviously taken out of context from the Bible, but they are all about. And the more I read, the more disturbed I am. But I feel that we just have to realize what we are up against, especially if you're a mom or a parent like me, how to protect our children, how to make them be wise, because the boogeyman is not always scary. Sometimes they're just a little puny looking guy like Jeffrey Epstein. This is so disturbing, but I'll be back with more. Let me know what you think, and let me know if you have found a reply to this.
So is that and Jeffrey was quoting a Bible verse and using it out of context?
Yep, he was right. In the verses were to, there were basically, there were, they were for the purpose that they were articulating doing stuff to kids or, ending people, all that kind of thing. So, anyhow,
yeah,
man, it won't let me get rid of that one. So I'll just.
It's so bizarre, man. Like there's people left, right, people that are not even political at all. Stephen Hawking, bunch of scientists went there. We got some weird statements about a looking glass in one of the Epstein files. I covered that on video, and it says a looking glass war. Even Deepak Chopra is talking. Dalai Lama's talking to him. The Pope is talking to Jeffrey Epstein. Everybody that's out in the public that's got a big name, it seems like almost is talking to the dude. I mean, the Pope. Like, seriously? The Pope? Dalai Lama? It's like, what the hell is going on here? So, and what's really bizarre, did you see this whole thing about this book written a long time ago about Trump? Check this out. Show this real quick. So there's an email that talks about Looking Glass Wars, and it mentions Donald Trump in the Looking Glass Wars. And there's a thing called Project Looking Glass where they could see into the future. This was a CIA supposed project that tried to tell you that it's not real. Oh, it's just a conspiracy theory. But the movie Contact, they actually built a very similar device on the movie Contact with Jodie Foster. And what's interesting is apparently Donald Trump's uncle was very good at electrical engineering, had studied Nikola Tesla, completed his doctorate in electrical engineering at MIT in 1933. And apparently there's a book written 100 years ago about Donald Trump and his son, Barron Trump. I don't know if you ever heard of this. Mm-mm. And it's way too realistically related to today. I mean, there's like protests talked about in the book, The Last President, the book is called. And it's really bizarrely related to our current president and his son in a very weird way. And so some are wondering if they really did have this looking glass and perhaps his uncle knew something about it. And so the idea is that Epstein's talking about this, right? So what I'm thinking is like there was more than one group that had the looking glass device and they could see the future. But according to the whole theory is that all of the different potential future scenarios were all converging on one thing, in which the elite would be removed and destroyed, right? So what if one of the groups decided, hey, since the elite are going to be destroyed, why don't we just use this to our advantage to be the ones to replace them? And that was kind of the whole thing behind it. And so there's some really weird stuff with regards to that as well. But that, of course, is just another weird tangent of these files. You know what I mean? There's like a tons of them at this point. But at any rate.
Here, I'll show this. You were talking about Tate a second ago. I'll show this link that you shared with me.
All right.
Here,
is our democratic institutions and how corrupt they are.
Yep.
And I want every single person inside of the Epstein files, including the innocent people, including you, including Elon, including everyone, to be investigated to the full force of the law, because it is not down to them to admit wrongdoing. That is why we have a rule of law. Criminals do not admit they did things wrong. They go to court and they prove they did nothing wrong. And what I'm saying is that the British state has plenty of time. They have plenty of time to arrest people for tweets.
Yeah, you made
they have plenty of time to arrest people for nothing. So they should be investigating this huge pile of evidence. And the real questions are these. Why did they ignore the pile of evidence for a decade? 1. 2, who paid Jeffrey Epstein and made him so rich? 3, what were they paying him for?
You made all these points, yeah.
What decisions have taken place that have affected the lives of British people based on the back of bribe money paid to pedophiles as opposed to the will of the electorate? What laws need to be undone?
Andrew,
is our democratic institution.
All right.
Oh yeah, it's interesting, man. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I mean, again, I'm not really paying attention to. There's certain things I'm just not really paying attention to, and so that doesn't sound different than other things that I've heard him say. In the past, right? What he just said there. That it's it sounds like stuff that I've heard him say before, but but I don't. But I wasn't aware that he. Of this tweet that he made, and then this apparently is sort of a flip from that. So I don't know.
It makes sense to me though, the way he is, because my researcher, he is really into the Jung analytical psychology, the whole figuring out what type of personality each person is. So obviously a lot of these people that are movers and shakers in our society that everyone follows are ENTPs. I mean, in the case of Candace Owens, she's an ENTJ, if I remember correctly. Jordan Peterson's an INTP, like you and me. But most of them out there, like Nick and Andrew Tate, and just pretty much almost everybody at the top are all ENTPs. Matter of fact, even the bad guy from World War II is an ENTP. So what they do is they emulate what they think society wants, and then they just they sort of make it their mission to represent you, and then they'll throw something out on the water to see what people think. Oh, look, Epstein ain't that bad. He threw that out on the water. Didn't go too well. He deleted the tweets, and he's like, okay, go the exact opposite direction. We need to release all the files. This is horrible. See what I mean? So, don't be surprised if some of these guys are fake. I mean, we just had the story, and this is up your alley, I'm pretty sure. The whole thing with Elijah Schaffer and Sarah Stock. You heard about this already? Okay. So apparently Elijah Schaffer cheated on his wife with Sarah Stock, who's a trad con woman who claimed she was waiting for marriage. She was making her boyfriend wait.
Oh, okay.
To have sex with her until marriage. And then she actually sleeps with her boss, Elijah Schaffer, who's married, and gets caught. And now that's the latest scandal that's just happened on X. So yet another trad con woman getting caught. Not being what she said, right? So,
yeah, we covered one of those TradCon women in an episode not that long ago.
Which one?
What's her name? You remember Stuckey or whatever?
Stuckey, yeah, sounds familiar. You got Nala.
Beth Ann, what is her name? Beth Ann Stuckey or whatever her name was.
Oh, her? Okay, she's the Christian. She's a Protestant Calvinist chick, Allie Beth Stuckey.
Right. Yeah, we
Yeah, Allie Beth Stuckey, right?
Yeah.
But apparently they just it's you got Lauren Southern, she fell, you had Nala fall, you got this latest one, Sarah Stock. She was actually the one that looked like the most hopeful, actually. She was the one that put out the picture of her ring, and then all the TradCon fake women got jealous of her. And then now she's the one who got caught. And she was the one who was waiting until marriage to have sex with her husband. She was engaged.
Listen, I'm going to tell you, I say this all the time. The Democrats and Republicans are full of feminists, both parties.
Oh yeah,
both parties, full of feminists. The way that it presents is different. See, the Democrats are more overt with their feminism and toxic masculinity, and they talk all this kind of stuff. The conservatives, the way that they do it is, if you're a man and you say, hey, the legal system is not particularly favorable for getting married because then the woman can just do X, Y, and Z, then they just tell you to man up. And then so in other words, so you have the same effect. You have the same effect. Men are getting basically, are getting a raw deal in either party.
Oh yeah, 100%. I agree 100% with you.
Yeah. So
it's just horrible, man. It's just horrible, and it's only gotten worse. And I've seen some women that I respect. Even there's the one I know. She got married. She didn't do any of this stuff, and I've even had her on my show before. And she came out defending, these TradCon women. I'm like, why are you defending them? You're actually better than all of them. Like, why? If you're actually one that actually does what you're supposed to, don't defend all these whores. Why the hell are you defending them? Like, what the hell? I mean, just call them out for what they are, right? They come to Jesus.
Even people like Megyn Kelly. So Megyn Kelly presents as like this, oh yeah, she would be different than the rest. No, she's a straight feminist, man. And actually, if you listen to her for very long, it's just, she almost wears it on her sleeve. I mean, she starts talking about, her view of, policies favoring women and blah, 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 and all this kind of stuff in like a favorable way. Right. And it's like, yeah, y'all are, yeah. Mm-mm.
Well, I've heard some weird story. I've heard all the background stories with all these women, and it's not pretty. I mean, you got Ann Coulter. She had been with Bill Maher, from what I've heard. These are all rumors. We can't verify all this, but it's just like you hear about them. Like Ann Coulter, she's like that. Megyn Kelly, she's like that. Pretty much all of them. It's kind of got that, like, and I'm not trying to be disparaging to flight stewardess, but it's like the same thing. Like, they can fly everywhere. They go to different meetings. They go on vacations, and they got all this money from talking all the time. They got all this attention from males, and they're not married. So it's not too surprising when they're doing stuff, right?
Right.
But yeah.
Let me read this super chat real quick. Dwayne Patton 7190. Thanks, Dwayne, for that support. And he says, "Hey, as someone who is considering becoming a catechumen, the Catholic Church, what tips do y'all have, since y'all are my
apostolic
brethren?" So, yeah, I mean, I'm I'm Orthodox, and I went through a process, and I mean, I don't know. I don't know what advice I would necessarily give you. I think that's magnitudes better than most of what's going on in Protestantism, in the sort of fractured nature of it. But I mean, I'm Orthodox. I made my choice.
I go to a Protestant and Catholic church. I'm not Catholic though, but my wife's Catholic. But I just saw the most ridiculous video earlier today from a Protestant church. They were playing like music like Beyonce, Michael Jackson. They were doing like Star Wars dance. I'm like, what the hell is this? This isn't church. You got Star Wars stormtroopers up there dancing. What the hell is? And they were doing like the gyration with their, what down there. I'm like, what? At church? Like, seriously?
Gotta twerk at church, man. Gotta get your twerk
at church. That's just not church, man. That's a joke. That's not church.
Well, the other thing that's not church.
The Protestant church I go to is very small, and they're actually serious about God. If you go to these big mega churches, it's pretty hard pressed to find a good one. There might be a couple out there, but
I don't think so look, mega church is not the biblical model. We know that. I mean, matter of fact, if you have a conversation with a mega church pastor, I mean, and I've had them, and I'll have that conversation. You know, it's not the biblical model. They'll admit that it's not the biblical model, but we do this because we think that we can affect more change and we have more, access to this. Yeah, but the problem is it also draws wolves. They see that big machine, and it draws wolves in, and then you just have a bunch of helpless sheep there. And the freaking pastors don't even know the name. They don't know the name of, they couldn't call people by name. You couldn't possibly know 5,000, 10,000 people's names, their kids, the stuff that they're going through. You couldn't possibly know that. You have to have a staff of pastors. There's no way to oversee that many people. So of course you're setting it up for a massive failure and massive scandals that totally will devastate people. And this is the thing that is crazy to me. It's too big. It's too big if, quote unquote, in order to go deep, that's what small groups are for.
Right.
You don't know what the heck they are teaching in the small groups. There's no way for you to actually oversee what's going on in small groups. There's no look, man. They give you a booklet. They give you like, okay, you guys watch this video and the booklet, but you don't know if they're actually doing the stuff that you're telling them to do. And even if they do that stuff, what about the other conversations? They could be creating new heresies in the freaking small groups. And
well, you and I dealt with that. You remember your sister was going to was it a oneness church or something back in the old days? You remember that?
Oh, right.
We went there, oneness Pentecostal, that's what it was, right? Or Pentecostal holiness, I think they call them, whatever they call them. There's so many different denominations, it's ridiculous at this point. But you and I, we used to go challenge pastors. You remember that? And we would just use the Bible. We would just go, and we weren't obviously super intelligent about it, but we were at least able to read it and knew what it said, unlike some of these people that were running these churches.
I'm still, I know, look,
we were only in high school. Of course we were ignorant, but we were smarter than some of them, actually. That's the funny part.
Yeah, I look back at that, and I have sort of mixed sort of feelings about it. I think, it came from a good place, and you feel like you're supposed to do
you were trying to do the right thing. You were trying to follow the Bible. And of course, we were ignorant about a lot of stuff, but what's just so funny about it is we were smarter than a lot of them, and we were only in high school. That's how pathetic it is, right?
I do remember the time. I do remember the time that me and Paul, I think you were supposed to come, but you couldn't make it or something. But I probably shouldn't use his name. Well, he doesn't care. But me and Paul, me and Paul, we went to a Catholic church, and we were gonna try to convert the Catholic priest. We were trying to tell him how that was freaking hilarious.
I actually did have a bad situation with a Catholic priest once at my college. They had Buddhist seminars at the Catholic church, and I actually went there and rebuked the priest, and he got upset. But he's like, oh, but I felt like God was telling me this is okay. And I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? You're a Catholic. Why are you teaching Buddhist seminars at your? You know how I found out about it? I was at my dormitory. It was like first year of college or second year or something, and they had a pamphlet, like how they make those like paper cut out things on you, put it on the table where you eat. Like I'm in the place where you eat at the college. And I see them on all the tables. Buddhist seminar at the Catholic church. I'm like, what? So I actually went there and confronted them, because back then I didn't even give a shit. I just confront you if I didn't like what you had to say. That's how you and I were. We just confront people. We didn't care. And I just went and confronted him. He almost started crying, dude. And he was like saying he had a Buddhist, like he had like a weird Buddhist spiritual experience or something. And I'm like, dude, you're a Catholic priest and you're doing Buddhist seminars. You might be in the wrong church. You might be in the wrong religion there, dude. You know, like, so there are weird stuff like that going on, man. You have, even in Catholic churches, you have weird stuff going on sometimes. You have it going on in Protestant churches. I don't know about the Orthodox Church. I think they're probably a lot better than usual. But
yeah, well, so here's so the thing is if you have human beings involved, there's going to be some user error. So we know that's just human nature. But this is why you can't have stuff that either one has no oversight, or two, or two has basically, free reign, like you. So you have like all of these, like the Protestant thing is you have all these sort of autonomous church, especially the ones where it's like the Holy Spirit told me to start this church. So then there's no oversight, there's no bishop, there's no, there's nobody that can hold you accountable. You can just do what you want to do. The Holy Spirit is my leader. Jesus is the one that leads this church. You just say just say this stuff like this, and then anything goes, and you end up in a real bad way. You lead a lot of people astray. And then if you're successful measured by how many people are attending each week, how much money is coming in, like this, if you start getting money, then it just incentivizes you to double down on whatever the bogus stuff was that got people there in the first place. And then you start thinking that, oh yeah, see, it really is valid, and the Holy Spirit really was telling me to start this church because look, the Holy Spirit is leading all these people here, and you're up there and you're talking about you're spreading a bunch of heresy and you're making a bunch of. I'm just.
Sounds like Kenneth Copeland right there. He's like he's got hundreds of millions of dollars, and that guy's a complete heretic. He's like one of the worst, actually. I mean, he was like saying Jesus was a failure and Satan wasn't.
Dude, I was watching
crazy stuff.
Look, I was watching who was it? I can't think of the guy. I can't think of his name right now. There was a big scandal because his wife wore a form-fitting dress that had.
Oh, I saw that, dude. I saw that.
I can't think of the guy's name right now. I did a couple shows on him, but anyhow, this guy.
He said something really funny. He said something really funny, like he said something really cringe and bad, but it was funny though the way he said it. Something about his wife having tight clothes, and then he justified it somehow. I remember that. Right? Is that what it was?
1 second. Hey, MK Ultra, stop with the all caps, or you're going to get blocked. And also watch your language.
All caps, okay.
Yeah, stop with the all caps. And watch your language. Anyhow, let's get back to the regularly scheduled program. Oh yeah, we kind of went off a little bit. Here, check this out.
It's an obscene amount of references to pregnancy in these emails. Just an obscene amount of women coming to Jeffrey and telling him that they are pregnant. Here's an email.
Dude, here. So first of all, let me lap DS Watt 1898. Thank you for the super chat. It says, "Do you think Oprah will be arrested? Also, what's the status of the God Rules investment payouts?" I'm not sure what that is.
God Rules. Are you talking about the game No VR, or what are they talking about?
Some investment payouts. God Rules investment payouts. I don't know what that is.
Probably talking about No VR. We're still working on the game. Once we release it, then we haven't released it yet. We're still working on it. We actually have a angel investor that might give us some money that will help us to finish it faster. But we're trying to make sure that the game is awesome before we release it. We don't want to release it like hodgepodge. We want to do it the right way. So, yeah.
Okay, let's keep going.
Between someone and Jeffrey from 2015. Jeffrey says, "Where are you now? I'm in Paris." This person responds and says, "London. Got news for you. I'm pregnant." Here's another communication between Jeffrey and someone from 2013, and they send Jeffrey an email with the subject line, I'm pregnant. An email exchange between someone and Jeffrey from 2011 that says, sending you some images of me pregnant and baby shower. Please let me know next time when you are in Los Angeles. I have a few girlfriends with me now, so you should have some girly time. Missing you, blank. In 2009, someone's emailing Jeffrey, very concerned that they might be pregnant, it seems. And this is like while he was in jail. Okay, here's another email communication between someone and Jeffrey back in 2017. So in this email, Jeffrey's giving some advice to a woman who appears to be pregnant, and she responds and says, Jeffrey, thank you so very much. I really trust and appreciate your opinion. How is your pregnant friend? Did she make it to New York okay? Was the flight okay? I am seriously considering going back to Moscow until the baby arrives. Now, this was an email exchange between Nicole Junkerman from 2017, and we're gonna have to come back to Nicole Junkerman because she's a whole rabbit hole on her own. German-born model, a very obvious asset of the blue and white state, married to an extremely wealthy Italian businessman, and she works for Ehud Barak. She's on like his board of directors at his carbine company. We're just gonna have to like fully dissect Nicole Junkerman and her lore and all of that.
That's a good way to disguise who you're talking about, the blue and white state.
In the next day or so, but for the sake of quickness, let's just read through this communication. So Nicole emails Jeffrey in 2017 and says, pregnant, my dear godfather, but let's wait the 3 months. So Nicole Junkerman, who works for Ehud, the former prime minister of the blue and white state, and a known asset to the blue and white state, is calling Jeffrey her godfather. And Jeffrey responds to hearing that his goddaughter is pregnant by saying, yay, open the account now. You will be preoccupied later, and we will have to rethink things regarding the child. Then Nicole says, yep, I know. And then he emails her and says, you can start playing classical music now, put it on your belly. And again, that is not even all of the mentions. That is not even all of the times that women were coming to Jeffrey to let them know they're pregnant.
So he's like getting them pregnant, I guess, or is that what it is?
It sounds like that.
Well, there's a lot of weird stuff there too, because it reminds me of like the Old Testament. They would get pregnant purposely, and then they would do like a weird rituals. You know what I mean? Right. But you said one of the super chats asked about Oprah, right? There's 144 hits for Oprah on the Epstein emails.
Right.
It seems like it's just a bunch of stuff like people saying I'm going on to Oprah tomorrow. They're talking to Jeffrey. So, I mean, I'm not sure if Oprah literally wrote Jeffrey though. I haven't seen it yet, but yeah, she's talked about very casually here. So I guess a lot of people that knew Jeffrey were on her show, stuff like that. So I'm not sure if she actually wrote him directly or was involved in anything. But we know Oprah and some of her weird stuff surrounding her as well, which we've covered on my channel, but kind of related. She had her own charities. And we saw a lot of weird stuff when the USAID came out a few months ago. Maybe it was like 4 months ago at this point, where a lot of these Baptist charities and random Christian charities were actually not Christian at all. And they're just taking the money and they're doing weird stuff with the money. Yeah. And then of course, a lot of these charities that these elites have too seem to be doing weird stuff. So, and she had her own charities, Oprah did, and they got some trouble with some of her charities. So it makes you wonder if any of these charities are actually legit. Maybe some are, most of them are not. I don't know. It's kind of weird. But at any rate.
All right, let's check this out.
In the Epstein files, it literally shows emails that Jeffrey Epstein was creating designer babies. I really want to know why we haven't heard the DOJ talk about this, especially since some of the survivors said that this happened to them in Jeffrey Epstein's New Mexico property, Zorro Ranch. How I found out that he was working with another person to create these designer babies is because I saw him ordering a lot of 23andMe kits, and he was sending them to a lot of different people as gifts. In this email, he was sending some to Woody Allen and his adopted daughter at one point in time, who is now his wife. And I started to see a lot of emails in the Epstein files of people saying that they were pregnant to Jeffrey Epstein, or even alluding that he had actual children. Like this email in 2011 to Jeffrey Epstein, and it appears to be from Sarah Ferguson. And it said, "You have disappeared. I didn't even know you were having a baby. It's so crystal clear to me that you were only friends with me to get to Andrew. And that really hurt me deeply."
What are you thinking about?
Mom Donnie, you heard about him?
Yeah.
The New York mayor, that there's pictures of him as a baby with Jeffrey Epstein and his mother. You know about that, right? Yeah. So they're saying that he might be actually Epstein's son. So the Mamdani guy over in New York City is in the right here. You can show it on I have it right here as a picture.
Okay.
There's actually a lot of them. here's one as a baby. There's Mondami hanging around with Billy Clinton and Epstein. And there's actually numerous pictures of them together. So Mondami apparently, his mother well knew Jeffrey Epstein. So maybe he's actually the baby of Jeffrey Epstein. We don't know. So your New York mayor might be Epstein's son. Yeah, literally. And that's why a lot of people are not liking him. Apparently, those that voted for him apparently not very happy about this because they thought he was a normal guy, and then they find out no, he's actually this is a fake picture of course. There is actually a real picture. I think this is just a fake version of it. The real picture has Bezos in it, has Bill Gates. I think it has Clinton. I'm not sure. Has Epstein. They somehow added in the fake JD Vance thing in there.
That's hilarious.
So I don't know.
It's big JD.
So that's the problem on X as well, is things will go viral and you don't know. You have to go vet it yourself because even the community notes don't catch it usually. That one we showed earlier on the stream, it already had 5 million views before they finally caught it.
Yeah.
You know, the picture that supposedly was Jeffrey Epstein. Yeah. So. Oh yeah, they're trying to show how it might be him. Epstein Mondami. I don't know. There you go.
I don't even think here's the thing too. I don't even think that like that fake picture with Vance in there. I don't even think that the age would track. Vance is not that old, so
yeah.
At the time
he would be like Mondami. He would be a little kid.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like, so this is just like, it's crazy work. And then of course, so then is that okay? So is that supposed to be his mother right there?
Yeah.
Okay. I see.
Yeah, but what's funny is like they decided to release all the Epstein files when AI got so good that you could fake everything. So I wonder if that was a coincidence or not.
Yeah.
You know?
Right.
Yeah. So. Yeah.
Okay, so let's get back to this guy here. Here we go.
More than you will know. Congratulations on your baby boy. And this email in 2006 from Glenn Dubin to Jeffrey Epstein. I get pictures of you flying over Mount Fiji, and I have to find out from Bagazi that you have twin babies. Eva and I are so excited for you. Please send pictures ASAP. And Glenn Dubin says, test tube babies, just thinking. Started looking up the term babies in the Epstein files, and this is when I came across this. It was titled Designer Babies in August of 2018, and he has it on like an agenda. Then I found this email, and it's from Brian Bishop to Jeffrey Epstein, and it's Designer Babies / Brian Bishop. So I looked up who Brian Bishop was because I was like, why are they saying designer babies? And it says, Brian Bishop is a software engineer and a biohacker who gained attention for his attempts to fund and advance a do-it-yourself or DIY designer baby project using Bitcoin. His project aimed to utilize the CRISPR gene editing technology to engineer human embryos for enhanced traits, such as increased.
I was talking about this crap like 5-10 years ago on YouTube that they have CRISPR and they're going to start doing crazy stuff. And then they could enter them into society and you would have no clue. They could do just like this movie, what was it, Children of Men, where nobody could have kids anymore because all they have to do is enter somebody in society that's been CRISPR edited. And then eventually they breed everywhere. And then you get to a point where no one can have, you know, children or whatever. They have a lot of weird stuff they can do with that technology. Mondami could be a designer baby. We don't know. But yeah, go ahead, man.
Muscle mass or improved memory. And this is the next email I found about designer babies. And it's from Brian Bishop to Jeffrey Epstein. And it says, here is a deck about my designer baby project. I have talked with Austin again, and we have a series of questions about how serious you are about wanting this and what are the ground rules for me even exploring this with you and getting to next steps. Most of these questions are around your requirements for secrecy, privacy, and specifically regarding reputational risk and also any financial involvement. I think there would also need to be some understanding about goals and feasibility of different results. I think one way this could be done is under the banner of My Designer Baby Project, since the other deliverable is similar and shares so many of the same procedures and lab requirements. This might offer a level of deniability. I propose another call on Monday in the afternoon to discuss these issues. So it sounds like they were going to create a very similar thing.
Isn't this like Uberman? Isn't this like trying to make the ultimate, you know, human So isn't this literally what the bad guy from World War II was doing? Supposedly. Yep. Okay, these guys. Okay, this.
But
this
even the discussion that she's having here about like plausible deniability, you know, I mean, let's keep going.
To Designer Babies project that was going to be a little bit different, and it gets a little bit more into it here in a second. 2 days later, he sends another email to Jeffrey Epstein that says, sounds like you could be the first investor as long as an absolute anonymity is kept. I have always envisioned there would be anonymity requirements about babies. We cannot publicly identify who these are or their parents. Would brand the child as a freak for life in the media. So I have always assumed that the investor would need absolute anonymity for these kinds of products. Then literally 2 weeks later, there is another email sent to Jeffrey Epstein from Brian Bishops, where he said, attached is the doc you requested. It's the use of funds spreadsheet for the designer baby and human cloning company. If you've heard about Zorro Ranch and the allegations, you would have heard that Jeffrey Epstein was allegedly doing this, making and creating these babies with some type of cloning. Then Brian Bishop says, this gets us out of self-funded garage biology, phase to the first live birth of human designer baby and possibly a human clone within 5 years. Once we reach the first birth, everything changes. And
are they supposed to be like X-Men? Like they're supposed to be able to have supernatural abilities too and stuff, or is it just like they're like really? Because wasn't there something about that, or did you play that, or no, or did I see that somewhere else?
Say it again. What?
Supernatural abilities, like they were trying to design babies with supernatural abilities and stuff.
Yeah.
You didn't hear that? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So Mondami could be an X-Men.
Right.
It's joking, man, dude.
Yeah, maybe that's how he mind convinced all the white liberal women to vote for him.
Here, I'll send you this link I got here on this designer babies with supernatural powers or something. You can pull that up. Well, you can do this first. Keep going.
The world will never be the same again, much less the future of the human species. And he's talking about how much it's going to cost. The attached doc shows $1.7 million a year for up to 5 years, $1 million for the lab setup, $9.5 million to fund for 5 years, $6 million for 3 years. After those emails, there's no detailed emails like those ones that come out between Brian and Jeffrey Epstein. It's basically just like, let's meet here, call me on the phone, things like that. About then how much it's going to cost. Jeffrey Epstein sends this email to Steve Bannon, which is the gene editing of babies. And as you can see, it's a sciencemag.org article. I literally went to this article and it can no longer be found. Then literally just a couple days after he sends that email to Steve Bannon, he sends another email to someone and the name is redacted. And the URL is actually in the subject line right there. It says, gene editing babies, China. And then Jeffrey Epstein says, isn't it nice to hear things before they actually happen? So I go to that URL, and the URL for this is a New York Times article that says Chinese scientist claims to use CRISPR to make the first genetically edited babies. This is exactly what that Brian Bishops and Jeffrey Epstein said they were about to do. Researcher He Jiankui offered no evidence or data to back up his assertions. If true, some fear the feat could open the door to designer babies. Like I said, Epstein has thousands of emails that talk about DNA.
Hey, folks, we got 161 people in here right now. Hit that like button. Hit the like button. That's a way that you can really help the show to grow. Hit that like button.
So we're talking like Epstein could have been having babies with these women that were designer babies. So he had like potentially genetically modified kids. And then Steve Bannon, who's on the right, is also involved in this. Like, what? Dude, what the hell is going on here? This is crazy.
This stuff, man.
Random people telling him that.
Man, two wings of the same bird. Democrats and Republicans.
Honestly, that's what I've started to realize too, is that this is literally true from what I can see so far. Yeah.
They are pregnant even before this happened. Emails like I showed you from people saying that he had children, him showing that he has a really big obsession with his own DNA. He has said this multiple times, like he wanted to input his DNA and everybody into the world. So y'all let me know what you guys think about all this in the comments.
No,
that was a good video. She did good work on that.
I mean, it makes sense that he would be that arrogant and think so highly of himself, but no, you're not that good at all. You're horrible, Jeffrey Epstein. We don't want your DNA anywhere. But
right. All right, check this out. This is pretty dark. Let's see here. Let's see. Merci Leslie. Merci beaucoup. Merci Leslie. It's me. Placer. Envoy de mon iPad. Okay, pizza and grape soda tomorrow for lunch.
Oh, yeah. There's a lot of that stuff. Yeah.
What is this? Pizza mentioned 9,527 times. Ice cream.
They had
mentioned.
ice cream waterboarding. Like, what is ice cream waterboarding? Are you waterboarding ice cream? Really?
8,624 times. Grape mentioned 4,261 times.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. Hot dog equals boy, pizza equals girl, cheese equals little girl, pasta little boy, ice cream male pro, walnut person of
color. Yeah,
right. And map equals I'm not even going to say that word.
Ejection. So yeah, that's ice cream. So basically, they're waterboarding dudes. Yeah. So I mean, they're doing a lot of crazy stuff. You have the George Bush one's pretty disturbing as well. George Bush Sr. I don't know, man. This stuff's nuts.
Okay, so this is the thing about billionaires hunting humans. Check this out.
Billionaires paid thousands of dollars to a company so they can hunt people. Yeah, you heard that right. Italian authorities have uncovered a scheme where Italian, American, as well as Russian billionaires paid a company $100,000 so they can hunt people during the siege of Sarajevo. This company acted like an all-inclusive, providing food, transportation, housing, as
all-inclusive.
well as ammunition to these billionaires. All these billionaires had to do was focus on hunting civilians who were trying to escape the war at that time. A 8-year-old who was involved in this has been caught, and the only reason he got caught was he told someone and that person told on him. But the rest of the people have effectively vanished. They used fake names, passports, as well as LLCs to hide their movements. So we have actually no idea.
Hey guys, we still have close to 160 people in here. Let's have a goal of getting 100 likes. If you can hit the like button, we need 26 more likes. 26 more likes. Let's hit the like button, please. Thank you.
Who they are. One thing that is clear is that these billionaires look at everyone below them as subhuman, as effectively animals. But unfortunately to them, we drink the same water, breathe the same air, and bleed the same blood. So we're the same people. We're not that different. But yeah, it's unfortunate and tragic.
I was thinking, what was I thinking about? Never mind. Go ahead. I forgot what I was going to say.
No, that's cool. I'm sure you'll think of it. And then this right here, this is again about this WW3 business. So check this out. He's got some harsh words about people that believe that, Super Bowl day is actually going to be what is it? Wild Wings 3. So let's check it out.
So for those of you who actually believe that we have a start date for World War III and that it's going to start on February 8th, do us all a favor. Get the hell off the internet, please. I can't even be nice about it anymore because I cannot believe that people keep being susceptible to everything that they see on social media. On February 4th, there was a post on X, supposedly a leaked email that was in the Epstein files between two investors. And one of the lines in that email reads, "We need to discuss World War III. The investors want to know if we are still planning February 8, 2026. I want you to ask yourself these questions. If there was a definitive start date for World War III, why would it be published for everybody to see? Secondly, you don't think reporters and media did some digging? The Epstein files are available for you to see on the Department of Justice website. You can do a quick search, Control F, type in World War III. Not a single mention of World War III in the 3 million pages of documents on the in the Epstein files.
Actually, WW3 is mentioned. It is actually mentioned in a couple spots. I mean, maybe he typed in World War III. I mean, if you put WW3, it is actually mentioned a couple times. But yeah, at any rate, I did a search recently. So, at any rate, you can keep playing it, man.
Yeah.
Hostess on X thought that they were.
Yeah, I didn't, Randy. I didn't delete your comment. I don't know who deleted your comment.
It could be automated. There's a lot of weird, like even 10 years ago on YouTube, they'll like delete comments or put them in spam, even if your comment's not even bad. Like that stuff happens. So we're not deleting any comments if you want to.
Yeah, the only comments that I blocked one user. I blocked him because I warned him multiple times, and then he didn't abide by the rules, and so then he got blocked.
Yeah, so the guy was wearing capitalizing.
Yeah. And he was using a bunch of profanity and stuff. So yeah, I wouldn't, Randy, I don't just randomly. I pretty much let the chat rock. You know, as long as you're not, you know, using profanity, all caps and stuff, or, you know, trolling. So
right,
going to be funny. And actually, what ended up turning out to be, it is kind of funny. Funny that people would actually fall for it. So no, World War III is not starting on February 8th. Stop believing everything you see on the internet.
Well, the problem with this statement, the whole problem is there's so much crazy stuff in the Epstein files. When you see another crazy thing, you're just like, well, I just saw 5 other crazy things that are true. Why can't this be true, right?
Right.
That's the whole issue. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So this is the last video I have, and then I know you had something else you want me to play, and I'll play that too. But check this out. So this is again on the rich people hunting.
Dick Cheney.
Yeah, here we go.
She also said she was taken to Wyoming where she saw Dick Cheney doing human hunting, and they called it a most dangerous game. And this is part of her being trained to know that
he shot someone in the face accidentally. Remember that?
Yeah.
Maybe it wasn't accidental.
Well,
right?
maybe so maybe it was accidental, but he had wait a minute, he had trained his instincts.
Yeah, he'd been hunting people and he forgot he wasn't hunting them.
Right.
He accidentally shot him. I thought, oh, we're on a pheasant hunt. We're not on a human hunt today. Oh shit, man, I screwed up again. Damn. Like, what the freak, dude?
All right. Okay, let's keep going.
There's no place to hide again. And this one is kind of crazy because Dick Cheney would years later in 2006 shoot someone in the face while hunting. Remember that? It was an accident, of course. And then in 2020, we had the film The Hunt, showing us the same thing, right? Same thing about elites hunting humans. And then finally the news this 2025 about the elites paying to hunt humans in Bosnia. So, I mean, is it that far-fetched? I would say not. I would say that's not that crazy.
There was a book by Ernest Hemingway. I remember he was like my favorite author. He actually died in a way that was similar to one of the stories in one of his books. And he also was very panicky, thinking that the government was following him around all the time. And he was like thinking, he was literally going crazy over it. And that's why he supposedly killed himself, which maybe he didn't actually. But he had a story about a hunter who got sick of hunting animals and started hunting humans. He had a book about that too. So I'm wondering if like maybe he was kind of like Stanley Kubrick, where like he knew some of their stories and he was a great writer. So he was like kind of writing stuff, and maybe they didn't like what he was writing. And then they started following him around and harassing him. And it maybe ended up like Stanley Kubrick losing his life over it. Right. Because Stanley Kubrick was putting out too much information too in his movies. Right. So maybe that's what was going on with that. I don't know. Yeah, that's the supernatural abilities of the designer babies thing. Yeah, so like Madame might be an X-Men. There's actually an X-Men show where like it was a mayor or a governor or some random representative that was had supernatural abilities. You also had that Captain America with the black Captain America, the recent one, and the president was Harrison Ford, and he was a superhero too.
Falcon.
Right?
It was
right.
used to be Falcon. Yeah.
Oh, I guess maybe some of them are actually designer babies. I'm just joking, man. I don't know. This could be all fake. We don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, it's so messed up, though.
Hey, folks, we just need 4 more likes to get to 100 likes. Just give us 4 more likes. We'd really appreciate it. But thanks everybody for being in here tonight. We had I think this is the most live viewers we've had on our show.
Yeah, on your channel for sure. I think
channel,
we might have got up to 200 once. I don't know. Maybe not. I can't remember. It's pretty high up there. It's one of the highest ones for sure.
Yeah. So thanks for being in the place to be, folks. Thanks for stopping by and checking out. And no, there won't be good. So February 8th is, as far as we know. Yeah. And we just went past 100 likes. Thanks to everybody.
Oh,
so as far as we know, it'll just be a football game on February 8th. And I will be
no human hunting, no designer babies.
No designer babies, that's right.
Oh, maybe we don't, maybe there is. We don't know.
Well, hey, maybe half of the guys playing are designer babies.
Never know, man.
Superhuman powers and stuff. Anyhow, yeah, I didn't think that humans could actually run that fast naturally. So yeah. Anyhow, that's going to be our time. Thanks again for being here, and we will see you next time.
All right. Thanks for watching, guys.
All right. Peace.